Bitcoin is a magical word we hear so often these days. Well, what is Bitcoin? Something that is constantly increasing in value. Increasing. Okay, I think it can be bought, but can we sell it? And can we take our money back as dollars? Okay, come on, let's take a closer look at Bitcoin. If you have any questions after the presentation, you can ask. You can use the comment box at the bottom of this video for your questions. I will try to answer your questions. Thank you. Okay, yes. Bitcoin. Bitcoin is actually called the crypto money system. We talked about the blockchain currency, which is not yet fully supported by law as an investment instrument in the world, for those of you who are curious. The symbol of Bitcoin. Abbreviation for Bitcoin, BTC. Bitcoin does not belong to any central bank. Bitcoin is an electronic currency unrelated to any official organization. Bitcoin can be split into units up to 100 millionth of a penny, after comma. It is also the most used currency in Deep Network. Bitcoin. When did it come out? The Bitcoin network passed on January 3, 2009. Manifestin's writing is Satoshi Nakamoto, but probably not a real name. The maximum number of bitcoins is limited to 21 million. As of July 22, 2013, the total value of Bitcoin in circulation reached $1.2 billion, while it reached $8.2 billion as of June 4, 2014. In just 1 year. How does Bitcoin work? Bitcoins, which are not produced from any center, exhibit a point-to-point distributed network capability similar to BitTorrent networks. Payments made on this network arrive instantly at the other points, so that they go to the records of which address payments were made. Thus, the collected records are contained in the structures called blocks. It is desirable to apply a hash algorithm, which requires high processing on each block, to find the expression starting with a certain number of zeros. The first user to perform this operation, corresponding to approximately 10 minutes, is given a prize of 50 BTC, now 25 BTC, from zero. So bitcoins are driven into the emissions. Each block contains the hash statement of the last block that precedes it. Thus, it is quite difficult to break down, except for 51% attack. The aim is to prevent double spending and record submissions. The amount awarded is reduced to 210,000 blots per annum, one in about 4 years. How is Bitcoin mining done? The process of making money is called mining. Mining is the general name of the process of performing mathematical operations using computing power and power. To do this, the nodes in the Bitcoin network are called miners by downloading the offered Bitcoin software and performing intensive processing power on the hardware, usually graphics cards. The name of the first block of the system was named Genesis Block, and was produced on the 4th of January 2009. The first operation in the block like this is a special operation and is initiated by the creator of the new currency block. This is an incentive system for miners to join the network. In this system, money can be entered as distributed as desired in a system that does not have a central authority to issue money. Miners, both by generating and driving new bitcoins in the system, and by receiving bitcoin from the system for services to perform pending operations. The regular addition of the new money to the system is analogous to the gold miners finding gold in circulation. The name of mining comes from here. In the current process, miners are continuing to produce the amount of Bitcoin that is going to circulate every year, in a decreasing and predictable proportion. In the system, production will continue until a total of 21 million Bitcoins circulate. The production process will then continue and the miners will continue to be supported only through transaction costs. What are Bitcoin usage areas? Bitcoin is used as a means of payment and investment in some countries. Example, in Turkey, it is also possible to buy a TL counter for a Bitcoin. Bitcoins have a value because they can be used like money. It is also known that some funds are interested in this product with the expectation that their value will increase as their populations increase in the future. The value of Bitcoin is determined by the supply and demand conditions in the market. Demand increases as the price increases. Bitcoin demand decreases and the price of Bitcoin also decreases. There is a limited amount of Bitcoin in circulation. The production of new Bitcoins also has a limit and procedure. Bitcoin's biggest threats in front of market value. 1. Technical difficulties. 2. Legislative changes due to countries' approach to this currency. 3. The desire and confidence of the people in this money is changing in the negative direction. Friends, while sharing this information with you, today is December 8, 2017, a Bitcoin has risen to $17,000 today. Woo, that is incredible, really. Amazing. Let's back to Bitcoin. How is Bitcoin used? Virtual wallet is required for Bitcoin. It is simple to create. This virtual wallet can be created on your mobile phone, on your computer, or you can use web services on the internet. There is no wallet limit per person. You can create as many wallets as you like. Moreover, you do not need to provide your personal information for the wallet you will create. With this virtual wallet you can make money, send money, even buy and sell. How reliable is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is subject to certain protocols. Every transaction you make within the framework of these protocols is encrypted. At the same time, Bitcoin has a solid transaction recording memory by its structure. There are no security issues with the system, except in cases of user error or carelessness, such as your wallet password being cracked or your computer being hacked. This is no different than losing or ringing your wallet or credit card. It is not possible to spend the same money twice in the same way as the Bitcoin crypto system. It is confirmed by the system that the money is owned by you and that it has not been sent to someone else before. For this reason, it is not possible to create and sell Bitcoin in an uncontrolled manner by fraudulent means. Advantages of using Bitcoin. Bitcoin's inflation risk is low. Bitcoin does not lose value because of the amount of Bitcoin expelled by the treatment. One of the inflationary effects is the increase in the real money supply in circulation. The increase in money supply increases the inflation rate in a direct proportion. However, this system does not apply to Bitcoin, because the Bitcoin system is the end result. A maximum of 21 million Bitcoins can be produced by technical design. So Bitcoin's inflation risk is very low. The risk of collapse is low. The collapse of real currency stems from living hyperinflation linked to governments. Since the Bitcoin system is also not connected to any government, the risk of collapse is quite low. Safe, simple and inexpensive. If you look at the classic online transactions using payment systems such as credit card or PayPal with the seller's eye, if the buyer wants to reclaim money, it is necessary to use third-party services. At this stage, security can become dangerous and the event can become complex. Bitcoin does not have such a security problem because it does not have a back demand system. Even if it is checked by the buyer, making payment transactions and transferring money between accounts are becoming safer and cheaper. Because Bitcoin technology is peer-to-peer (P2P) system, that is to say, without any intermediary, works directly between pairs. Easy to carry. You can even carry billions of dollars worth of Bitcoins on a small memory card. I think it is impossible to do this with cash or another system. Traceability is not possible. Bitcoins cannot be followed, and there are certain disadvantages as well as advantages of not leaving any traces. For example, how much of your financial resource is in your Bitcoin system, or other information about your account, cannot be known and followed by anyone, including governments. Disadvantages of using Bitcoin traceability. This feature of Bitcoin, which we talked about its advantages, can be transformed into disadvantages and even dangerous situations. The fact that the permit is impracticable means that crimes can be handled comfortably. Bitcoin technology is setting up a fairly favorable environment for the sale of illegal substances such as drugs. This is the main reason why some governments should not accept Bitcoin as a currency. Easy to lose. When you lose your credit card or your bank account is taken over by someone else, you can instantly recover the situation by calling your bank. You can even apply to the police and get rid of your loss. But the same thing does not apply to Bitcoin. In Bitcoin system, there is no mechanism you can use to retrieve your lost Bitcoins or your captured Bitcoin wallet. The best way to avoid this is to keep your Bitcoins on non-internet connected hard disks. Hard to buy and sell, due to the risks you carry. You cannot buy your Bitcoins as a product. There are many services available to buy Bitcoin or sell your Bitcoins, but it is not so easy to accomplish. Despite being developed every day, Bitcoin ATMs are starting to open. Things are not as easy as they are in real currencies. Still very new, the Bitcoin system was established in 2009, that is. It is still a new technology. It can bring new Bitcoin competitors. In fact, new technologies, which can find large system vulnerabilities in the Bitcoin system, can still be improved. Scarcity of spending space. There is not too much space used by the Bitcoin system as a payment system. Although it is in the developmental stage, the greatest aim at becoming Bitcoin-owned is investment. Variability. When we look at Bitcoin's value chart, everybody can think about investing in Bitcoin, but the more the Bitcoin value is rising, the greater the risk of falling. Therefore, the investments to be made need to be balanced and thoughtful. Okay, thank you for joining me. Have a nice day. See you, friends.